podcast hate nonsense. It's the Politics Joe Pubcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes!
Come on. Come on. Leave none alive, Ed Campbell. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Good. I'm fucking great, buddy.
Excellent.
I'm great. It's good to be joined by the golden boy of Politics Joe.
It's good to be here.
I miss...
As per.
Yeah, I mean, we've done a couple of...
Of solos.
Yeah, just you and me.
Yeah, just dudes only.
Dudes rock.
Yeah.
Never forget it. I was at the TEC Congress with Sean, obviously, so just us.
Can't do both.
Just guys being dudes. What an episode.
Yeah, this is a corker.
What an episode have we got lined up. And I know it ticks a lot of boxes for you because obviously you're a ginormous fan of the band Royal Blood. and
Okay.
and also Model UN.
I would argue I'm not really a fan of either of those things currently.
There was a period of time when I used to take the piss out of Ed for doing Model UN, like I did everyone I've ever met who ever did Model UN.
Can we clarify? I did it at school. I
Yeah.
still do it.
It's still embarrassing, mate. For the first time, I said this to you earlier, but I'm going to repeat the joke, ever, Model UN has actually done something useful and like furthered your career. I feel like it's one of those things where you're like told to do it at school because like you can put it on your CV.
Yeah, you get into university because of this.
If I received a CV that had Model UN on it, I would burn it. I think it's for drips. I know I'm going in on this, and by proxy I'm going in on you, but it's come good. All of that, it's all worth it.
Yeah.
It's all worth it. Do you want to explain?
It's good for drips and alleged Chinese spies.
Woo!
So, this is a Politics Joe exclusive.
It is a Politics Joe.
This is quite exciting.
Yeah.
Alleged Chinese spy was named in the Times over the weekend as a potential spy for the Chinese state. We have found that at the George Watson's College Model United Nations Conference in 2012 was representing Iran.
Kel fucking surprise.
I think you must have learned a lot there about subverting Western interests.
I think it's very on the nose that he was sort of. Obviously we have to say that it's only alleged, right? He denies
it.
He strongly denies the charges of espionage.
Yep.
But you'd have to argue that the warning signs were there early, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
In representing Iran, are you kidding me? Iran at the Model United Nations. I mean, surely, who runs Model UN? Who does it?
Who runs it?
Yeah, like who's in charge?
I don't think it's a central thing.
It's a concept.
Anyone can put one on.
It's an idea.
I think
ideas are bulletproof.
We might have to go back to real basics.
Whoever watches
on how Model UN works.
So there's no oversight. There's no governing body.
I don't think so. I don't even think you have to license it.
So who watches The Watchmen?
Who watches? What are they teaching at Model UN? You either become Politics Joe
or possibly a spy.
Yeah. And everything in between.
My concern. What I wanted to say was check his fucking whoever's representing Iran, whoever's representing China, whoever is representing an anti-Western nation.
Yeah.
Check their fucking hard drives.
You'd
catch so many spies.
You would.
Alleged spies.
I'm actually going to have to. There's a bit of Model UN lore you're going to have to contend with. They're the most fun countries to be.
Right.
Because you can be disruptive.
Do you not just can you boycott it, not turn up?
I was once also Iran at a different conference. Cuff me. Take him away, boys. And I forged an alliance with the countries representing North Korea.
Proper axis of evil stuff.
Yeah. I think we were called the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I think was what we christened ourselves, and we staged the walkout.
It's so fucking lame.
No, it's not.
It's so lame.
No, it's not.
For listeners
Yeah.
who had social lives, can How old were you? Because like at school could mean 5.
So I was 5, organising. So I was at this diplomatic event, and I did it from ages of like 15 to 17. I don't think that's something to be laughed at.
It is, man.
Why?
Like, you could have done Duke of Edinburgh. Do you know what I mean?
I did.
You have real like extracurricular energy. You know that.
I did quite a lot of extracurricular stuff in school.
I can see you playing a bassoon.
No, it wasn't a musical.
Sports, yes.
Yes, played rugby at school.
Yep. What else is there? I don't know. Were you in like a homework club, or did you get tutored or anything like that? No extra study.
No.
No.
It was all other interests that really like well-rounded me as a person and turned me into like, I think maybe that's why I'm not a spy.
We've got more details on this story, right? You've got some pretty spicy stuff from the Model UN Facebook group, I believe.
So should I explain what Model UN is in case people don't know?
What I was thinking was what we've done there is we've kind of like trailed the story. You know, we've set it up, but I don't even know if it's the biggest piece of news that we have on the podcast.
What's the biggest piece of news?
Fucking Horatio Castillo.
Oh, yes. Sorry, should we do that first?
So I don't know. I'm asking. Do you want to do Model UN? Do you want to set up our Daniel Khalife story as well? Our global exclusive on that.
We have 2 massive.
We have 2 huge global exclusives on this podcast, and you know, we probably should have, you know, being professional journalists, made the editorial decision about which we would lead the show with before we came in. But we're doing it on the mic.
I think we should have our interview with Horatio now.
Okay.
And then for retention, they stick around.
Genius. This is why you are the content king.
This is what they teach you at Model UN. They teach you all about YouTube analytics.
You've sussed it. Okay, so we'll come back. We'll come back to Model UN. We'll come back to the man who could or could not be a spy, who shagged you at Model UN.
We didn't. That'd be the bigger story. I don't think I'd mention the Model UN part.
Because there's also, I mean, personally, you know, knowing what's coming, knowing the DMs that you 2 swapped and you're going to read out, you know, I personally would find that chilling. that would chill me to the bone.
I think any message exchanged with
100% would really freak me out.
Newsworthy.
Yes.
Chilling.
Yeah. Maybe maybe you should write them up after this podcast.
I think so. Yeah. I think we're going to.
Yeah, we definitely should. Okay, so we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Let's park that, because in the meantime, our boy Daniel Khalife, another man accused of espionage, right?
Yeah.
He's terror.
What's happened this week?
The spies are going fucking nuts. He faces accusations. He's been charged, right, with now successfully escaping a prison. Terrorism charges of like constructing fake bombs, and then also possibly gathering information for a hostile state.
Yes,
which I believe is actually Iran.
Yes,
he's suspected of doing. Yeah,
this all comes.
I know, and we've got some real synergy across these topics. Anyway, in the manhunt, I'm sure listeners will have seen the video of the man arrested at Banbury Station, who was believed to be Daniel Khalife. It's not Daniel Khalife,
no,
but we've booked him and he's on the podcast.
Yeah, this is our good friend Horatio Castillo,
aka
not Daniel Khalife.
Not Daniel Khalife, but could have been for about 10 minutes. Horatio.
Yeah.
Maybe it's best if we start by saying that you're not Daniel Khalife.
I think, yeah. In case there's any confusion, you know.
Yeah. Well, they caught him again, didn't they? So, another jailbreak. Why don't you tell us who you are?
Well, Horatio.
Yeah.
Castillo. 19, you know, from Banbury. You know, lived there pretty much all my life. I guess if I had to sum up who I am, that's a very, I don't know, I think I'm quite a regular guy.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like the wider spectacle, you know, especially like when I come to a place in London, I'm just like a nobody, you know. I like, you know, do my hobbies, you know, like I play guitar, bass, I kind of sing. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm good or not, but maybe I can try it out.
Yeah,
you know, but
we'll find out. We'll find out.
But yeah, you know, I go to work.
What do you do for work?
I work in the kitchen.
like Daniel Khalife.
Like Daniel Khalife.
Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
I know.
Did the police know that?
No, they didn't.
Okay, so let's
Yeah.
explain, shall we?
Yeah.
Maybe Ed, you explain how this has happened. What are we doing?
Well, Horatio was mistakenly arrested I suppose on suspicion of being Daniel Khalife.
Yeah.
Which at Banbury Station last
Yeah.
Thursday.
It was Thursday, yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about that. What was that experience like?
Oh,
What were you doing that wasn't escaping from prison?
I think I was just thinking about stuff and things, you know, just like people do, thinking.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I'd been waiting for that day for about like a week because of course I was going to go signing for my favorite band, and so I've been anticipating it so much, you know. Yeah, I planned out everything, and I was like thinking about what I was going to say and what I was going to get signed. And you know, I had like a shift at work, and I get off. You know, it's like a 3-hour shift. I get off at like 12. I go down to the train station. It's just like any other time at the train station. You know, like the millions of times I've been. Yeah, I pop my tickets into the barrier, and then I just go through. I think this was the moment I might have got identified, but I was like by the concession stand, you know, where you get food and stuff, getting like an overpriced drink and like a naked bar, you know, by like £5 in total. And
That's rough.
yeah, I know. And I remember like the people behind the cash register were like looking at me, and they're like, when they were talking to each other, you know, and like one of them went out back. But then there was also another moment where, you know, when I went down to the platform and I was just sitting there, I remember seeing this lady come down to the platform, and then she went around the corner and in the elevator and just went back up. And you know,
That's sus, isn't it?
and then later on when I was with the police, I saw that same lady, and she took the photo of me, not the video, but she took the photo where I'm like that, you know, I'm not looking over like that, which you might see on like Daily Mail or something, you know. But yeah, I think she was probably the one, but I don't know.
So
Yeah.
So the police are tipped off.
Yeah.
And what happens? Is there like a helicopter? Do they like materialize?
Scale down the side of the train
No,
They
station.
like
it was
sail
like-
down from the ceiling.
It
What
was
happens?
literally just like 2 police just spawned in out of nowhere, and they just like started walking over, and just 2 I could see at first, and they just come over and they look, you know, and I'm thinking, it's pretty much like a few minutes before they came over, they said on the intercom, the train station said on the intercom, you know, this train's delayed because someone was on the tracks or something. And so, you know, these cops come over down on the platform, and I'm thinking, oh, it's probably for this, right? Like, of all days, you know, the train's going to be late and this is happening. And it's like, you know, whenever you see cops, you always think you've done something wrong. But of course, like, you of course know in your mind you haven't, and they're not going to come for you. This time they did, you know? You know?
And you're like, fuck, what is it?
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, I must be dreaming of something.
Yeah.
But they came over, and you know, like, hey, we need to talk to you. And I'm like, I look up, I'm like, me?
Yeah.
You know, me? And then they suddenly take my hands. I remember just kind of like jolting back, and I'm like, you know, whoa.
Yeah.
But there's not really much I can do.
Yeah.
So they just put me in cuffs. And I'm like, what's this about? Well, you know, what have I done? And then they explain, some lady called them saying that I matched the description of this guy's broken out of prison. And I tell them, like, this is the first I'm hearing of this. And they tell me about it. They kneel down, they show me like a photo on the phone. And I'm thinking, like, this doesn't look like me, you know? And then like suddenly had more cops like come down, and, you know, God, there must have been at least 20. Like, I see at least 15 to 20.
Mob-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, they're all coming over, and some of them take turns holding my handcuffs, you know. Yeah. Well, not take.
Well, like holding on to you.
Yeah,
To be
like
in
the-
case you run away again.
Well, like the handcuffs that my hands are in, it was weird because like I had my left hand like that, and then my right hand like that,
Yeah.
like inverted,
Oh,
you know.
right.
And it's like these black steel solid handcuffs, nothing like the movies, you know, which sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then it was one point when the video was taken of me. You can see the lady hold my handcuffs, and she was holding them, and she showed me another photo of Daniel, and I was like, that does kind of look like me, like the mugshot one.
Yeah.
You know, I was kind of insulted, you know, when I saw the guy. I was like,
I think you're more handsome.
thank you.
I think he's also a good-looking guy, though.
Daniel?
Yeah, I think that.
No, Daniel
Yeah,
is
definitely,
handsome,
definitely,
but he's
yeah.
not as handsome
No.
as you.
Oh,
so,
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
tough.
that should have been the
Because it's like
the
someone,
giveaway.
It's like someone showing you a photo. I don't know.
Yeah.
If, let's say you're like a 7 out of 10, and someone shows you a photo of a 5 out of 10.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're like, well, that's fucking rude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
That's
Yeah.
kind of where you are, I guess.
I've had that before. Where people have compared me to like YouTubers and stuff. That
Oh, right.
out there. I can't even
The
remember
one
their
that's
names.
married to Zoella. What's his
Oh,
name?
Alfie Days.
That might have been him.
Yeah.
One of them.
I think so.
But like,
Can I
Maybe.
get that? Yeah.
Ish.
yeah, I sometimes like people show me people I look like, and I'm like,
Mm.
kidding me? You know, like you. yeah.
You're more worried about
Yeah.
that rather than being like you're in handcuffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, like this is gonna look so bad on my LinkedIn, you know.
I would put it on your LinkedIn, to be fair.
Posting up inspirational lessons you can learn from being arrested mistakenly by the police.
Yeah.
So were you aware that there was like a manhunt on for the guy? Not at all. You hadn't seen his picture anywhere. You hadn't seen it. You hadn't seen it on the news. You hadn't. No.
No. Apparently, I heard it was like on Sky News or something.
It was everywhere. To be
Other
honest.
channels as well are available.
Yeah, and you know, I don't really keep up with the news that much lately because of like, my mental health. Trying to just kind of stay away from the negative stuff. It's like, you know, my life's already kind of can be hard enough as it is sometimes, you know, and a lot of it's all just kind of like in my mind, you know, just dealing with like it's kind of like just things like anxiety and I guess you know, just those sort of feelings, the sort of feelings everybody gets, you know, and trying to deal with that. And, you know, trying to deal with that along with financial situations like me and my family and stuff, and what I'm going to do with my future, what sort of career I'm going to have, you know, how I'm going to do this and that, get my own place, all that sort of stuff. It's like, that's a lot harder to come to terms with when you're reading all this news that is kind of validating how you feel, like that you know, that bug in your head that's telling you like it's all over, you know, like, you know, you're gonna be nothing, like, you know, you're gonna be stuck in this town forever, you know, doing the same just job all your life, you know. And as a young person, you can imagine it's very depressing, you know, for us to be stuck in that situation. So I kind of stopped trying to consume the news as much, you know, and just try and consume more positive things.
Yeah.
You know, and focus on the things I like, the things that make me happy, the people that make me happy.
Like going to royal blood signings.
Yeah, like going to that, you know.
The fucking cops can't get in the way.
Yeah, no.
That's actually like an anxiety dream come to life. It's like you're doing one thing to make you happy, and the arm of the British state is, is
That's why
preventing you.
you know, I was thinking that when that was happening, I was thinking like, for God's sake, you know, I can't have anything. I can't have
One thing.
Honestly, I was thinking.
What is the charge?
Yeah.
Being young.
I was like, you know, oh God, that reminds me of The Tab. They did a article on me, and it was so funny. It's the funniest article I've ever read. Like,
Yeah, go
especially and it was pretty much saying some stuff about like, it was talking about the whole online reaction with me, and all the focus I've had from people thinking I'm attractive and stuff. And The Tab was pretty much just an article about that, saying like, there's one line that said like, what's the problem, officers? You know, other than having like a dangerously sharp jawline, you know? And I'm rooting to my mom, and she's just like laughing her ass off, and I'm like, you know,
It's a lethal weapon.
yeah. Honestly, like I should be registered somewhere. You know?
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting experience. So you go from not reading the news to being
the news.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go back to when they've nicked you. You're there. They're holding you. You've got your inverted arm thing going on. What's next? How long before they release you and realize you're not the man?
Well,
you have to prove it. Like what?
Yeah. So I didn't have any ID or anything on me. I don't carry my passport with me. Unfortunately, I can't drive. I don't drive. You know, so I have never got like a provisional or anything. So I haven't got that ID to have on me to show people. So I showed them my bank card, you know, and that was about it. But you know, like even if I did have those IDs on me, like they could have been fake.
Yeah,
It could have been, you know, nicked from somebody else. Just anything really.
I also think Horatio Castillo sounds like a fake name.
Yeah.
It sounds like an assumed identity.
Yeah.
Instead of like John Jones.
Yeah.
I think it'll be Horatio Castillo.
yeah, it is a cool name.
Nickname.
I guess as well. You know, if the man you're accused of being is suspected, accused of like terrorism and also like possibly gathering information for a hostile state, they're probably, I don't know. The fact that you have a bank card that has a different name on it, they're probably like, oh, well, we'll let you go then.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how did they let you go? What happened? Did they?
Well, they didn't believe the bank cards weren't enough. I actually had two because one's got my old name on it and one's got my current name. Because I'd have a name change, and so I've seen some people online being like, that's Ace, because that used to be my name, like growing up and stuff, and I changed it like 3 years ago or something like that.
Got you.
So Horatio used to be my middle name. And that, that's my first and stuff.
Yep.
And so the bank cards weren't enough. I had nothing else, so they had to do a fingerprint scan, and they brought out one of those portable fingerprint scanners. And from what I know, it just takes your fingerprint, like bounces against the database, compares to other fingerprints to say like whether it matches to any or not. Apparently, it doesn't store them, and I've had a lot of people saying like, make sure they don't keep your fingerprints, and that did kind of worry me. And then I've heard from other people like the thing that they used apparently doesn't store them, but. I mean, if they did, I have no way of knowing. Yeah. But they did that. God, it must have been at least 20 to 30 minutes. They kept me just, doing checks and stuff.
Were they chatting to you when this was happening?
Yeah, I mean, I was chatting to them, honestly. Because after they told me what was going on, I was just like, well, obviously, like I'm not the guy, so I was quite relaxed. And so I was just chatting to them. I was like, I'm going to London today. I'm going to this thing. I'm so excited, Yeah, just I didn't really want him to. I wanted him to know I wasn't the guy, and I'm just some random fucker,
Yeah.
So
were they when they realised, what was their reaction?
Yeah.
Because they must have been like, "That's a good day at work." If you found Daniel Khalife as that policeman, they'd been buzzing.
They must have been so pumped. I mean, they came over.
They fucking did it, lads. We sorted it.
They came like, oh, we're getting that bonus. We're getting that holiday.
The reputation of the police in this country is in the mud, and we're going to single-handedly turn it around.
Yeah.
They're all like high-fiving and shit.
Yeah.
They must have been like, oh God, our superior is going to be like so pissed. Like, oh my God, the drawback that this is going to have. But like it's like they came over in stride, so proud, and then that happened, and they let me go, and they apologized, and I do have to say they were quite professional throughout it. They weren't nasty, they were talkative, they were professional, they didn't, like when they took my hands, they weren't forceful or anything, and yeah, and I think I'm quite lucky that I got that sort of situation because it doesn't always turn out like that. Like I only found out the other day about a situation with this guy apparently on the tube who back in like 2004.
Oh, Charles de Menezes.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently he just got shot just out of nowhere by the police because he was suspected to be this terrorist they were looking for. And I just think like I'm glad it didn't happen to me. I mean, they didn't even have any weapons on them. All I saw was like CS spray, and that was it. There was nothing in the holsters or anything.
There was the guy in the helicopter, obviously, as well, that was circling. He probably had like a big old gun.
Yeah.
And then like snipers everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just the one you couldn't see the weapons. That was the thing.
That's no.
Okay, so then obviously like the video gets posted online. How's the reaction been? How have you felt about what happened?
Well, I was in the queue.
You're here, obviously, as well.
Yeah.
That's part of the reaction, I guess.
Yeah. So I was in the queue for this signing. I like got right by the front, and I told my supervisor about it, about the whole situation. And suddenly she's like, "Oh my God, I saw you on Twitter. My boyfriend sent me like a video of you." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And so I look at it. And then I'm like, oh God, I gotta make a Twitter account to like, because I've never been on Twitter before. Like Twitter's not really my sort of thing. I've always looked at it as quite a hard thing to navigate, politically and socially. Like you could just say anything and you
get cancelled.
You get cancelled, like.
And the police come and arrest you.
And the police come and arrest you.
You didn't even fucking do that, and they still arrest you.
Can't even speak English anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, you say anything nowadays, and you just roll in dice.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So Twitter is like one of those things I'll try and stay away from. But
it's quite bold of you to not want to commit anything to like 140 characters, but be like, 20 minutes chatting shit on a podcast. Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. I'll give that a go. Sorry, so you made a Twitter account. Yeah.
And then I commented on the post that this guy had posted the video. It wasn't his video, it was some of the ladies' video, And he posted it. And this is the one that was going all around that everyone's seen. And I commented under it and I was like, hey, yeah, this is me. And this is what happened. And, I'm not the guy. And everybody at first was like, oh, that's bullshit, right? Like, it's just some pathetic fish account. All right. Like, and then I DM the guy. Well, I think he DM'd me. And I confirmed who I was. Like I sent him a photo of the shirt that I was wearing because I was still wearing it from earlier, So I sent that, and then he was, clarified on the tweet and everything. And he ended up taking it down. I didn't ask him to take it down, but like he said, he felt bad.
Oh.
So he took it down, and then I had an apology from the lady who took the video as well, just yesterday.
That's good of them.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and it was nice. It's nice to see not everybody so cynical on the internet. Some people seem to understand that there is like a person behind that account, behind these videos and these films, which I think a lot of people forget, especially with some of the things that I've gotten. Some people forget there's like a real person, and I think that's very true for pretty much all the internet.
Yeah.
It's something that I forgot, growing up and stuff, on the internet and things.
So now that this has happened, I guess this is probably my final question.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a sense of like connection with Daniel Khalife after what's happened? Do you almost, how like twins who are separated at birth, you're like...
You're tied to him forever now.
I guess so, in a way. I am tied to him.
Go and visit.
God, people have been saying we should be going like Love Island.
Love Island.
Yeah.
I think there's a real obstacle to him going on Love Island.
Yeah, it would probably be the terrorism charges he faces.
Yeah, I mean, but they've let anyone on Love Island, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not facing terrorism charges.
Well, anyone with a bit of a tan.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and I somebody said that, and I remember I said back to them, like, we'll probably end up like hate each other at first, but then at the end just end up making out.
Yeah, nice.
Just full circle, just like bam.
Yeah,
like
love that. Love that.
Spend the rest of your life together.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, and raise a kid.
You wait. You're like there waiting for him to get out of prison. Yeah.
You're right. One of those like people who are like the girlfriends of like people on
Prison wives,
but for like people on who like on life or like the lifers and or on death row in the US with like the letter writing programs.
Yeah.
Look into that. If you got in at Wandsworth Prison, let us know. We can get into that.
Tidy. Anything else?
You know what this screams of?
Yeah.
I think you will be asked to go on Big Fat Quiz of the Year this year.
Sorry.
Oh.
Do you know Big Fat Quiz of the Year? They're like the annual panel show they do.
Channel 4.
So it's like Jimmy Carr does this panel show, and they always do this thing where they bring out someone who's been in the news from this year, and they're like, "Who is this person?" And the comedians have to guess who it is. I think.
Yeah, you're a pretty strong contender for that.
I think you'll be in the running. So if a producer from Channel 4 approaches you, ask for a lot of money.
Are you after a finder's fee? Is that what you're?
I think so. If you're, if Jimmy represents,
I've never like been on TV. I think the most publicity I've ever had in my life was a photo from the Royal Blood concert I went to last year in Birmingham, and it was like a photo taken from the stage of all the people. I surfed through it and I just found my head like 2 pixels wide, and that's like the most I've ever been, until this happened.
Yeah.
And then like the other day I had somebody from Good Morning Breakfast come to me and talk to me, and I don't think I'm gonna be on there anymore because they said that they'll see how it goes, and now that he's been arrested, it's like it's not too hopeful, but like, that's fine. But yeah, it is strange to have people come to me and talk to me, people from the news and radio hosts and things like that. Yeah. It's because I'm just some like regular guy. Do you know what I mean? I didn't really ask for any of this or like make any of it happen. It just happened. Just by me existing. Yeah.
Well, Horatio, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Before we draw things to a close, anything you want to promote? Anything you want to plug? You want to take the opportunity?
I guess I would say Royal Blood's new album.
Love that.
I would say that. I'm
Let's
not
go.
getting paid for anything.
Favorite track?
Favorite track? Oh God, I'd probably say it's a close call between Waves, which is a very different song to most of their stuff. It's the first song they ever had with like a guitar, or I don't know how many more times. I just love like it's got this like part in the riff where it suddenly the pitch like shifts up like an octave, and there's like this heavy reverb, and it just like has this like shattering effect. And I love it, I love the meaning behind the song as well. And it's a very kind of classic but also fresh Royal Blood song. The Waves is the sort of song I put on when I want to cry, you know. And there's not many of those Royal Blood songs, but
true.
It's probably my favorite album of theirs, and it came out just like a few days after my birthday on like September 1st,
Brilliant.
So yeah.
Cool.
I'd love to plug that and listen to them because they're a good band.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for coming in, mate.
Yeah, no
Appreciate
problem.
it.
Thank you,
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Ed,
Ollie.
what did you think of that interview?
It was excellent.
Yeah?
I thought it was. I actually think there's something to be said about when he mentioned that the people had taken the videos down.
Oh, yeah.
I actually think this is quite an interesting thing about. I think there's maybe needs to be a bit of a reckoning about filming people in public without their consent.
That would have. Without that. Well, what I was going to say was this will have very serious ramifications for our business model because we go out and film people in the street all the time.
Yes, but with their consent.
Yeah.
I think it's.
But did you know? Sorry to get. I know we did like a bit of media law in the last episode.
And we've all been brushing up on it since.
Famously, there is no reasonable expectation of privacy in public. You are entitled to film anyone in the street. It's why legally, CCTV cameras can be pointed at your shop front publicly without having to get everyone's permission that walks past to film it. And also, actually, it's been argued successfully by media lawyers that photos taken from the street into people's houses, if the photo, the picture that's taken, I don't know, let's say someone wants to pap you getting dressed in the morning and take a photo of you in the nud. If you were viewable from the street because your curtains were open, the precedence that's set is you have no reasonable expectation of privacy if you're getting ready in front of the window and view full view of the street. So that photo is not an invasion of privacy. They're allowed to publish it. So I don't know. As a journalist, I see Daniel Khalife there with his sorry, not Daniel Khalife. Horatio. I see Horatio being filmed in the street. And whilst you're right, it's nice that those people took the videos and pictures down. I don't think they were under any obligation to, really.
No, I don't think so. But I think what changed that is that it wasn't Daniel Khalife. I think it's news. I think it's also one of these things that law does not take into account social media. So there is. So that could have been like Horatio taking that like an absolute champ. Like
he's very calm about it.
Oh no, he is. But that could have been the worst day of Horatio's life. Like Horatio could has every right to have hated that experience. Could have caused it could have been quite traumatic being arrested. I think it's a very traumatic thing to have happened, and without his consent, he's gone viral on social media.
Yeah.
And I think it's like John Ronson's "So You've Been Publicly Shamed." I think it speaks to that. I think there's people, when someone pisses in a nightclub or something. And they've just made an error of judgment, and then they're all over social media.
Yeah,
I think it's something that people need to contend with before they film someone doing something. Odd.
Yes, sure, I accept that. A little bit of perspective. He's basically been going viral for being a more handsome version of a wanted man.
Yes,
but I don't think it's you shat on a dance floor and that's going to follow you around for the rest of your life. Do you remember that guy? Sorry. Do you remember that guy who got filmed doing coke on the tube and lost his job?
Yeah.
Got was socially ostracized, etc. That's bad.
Yeah.
Or is it bad?
Yes.
Yeah, it is bad.
I think that is bad. Because if he was in a different carriage, that wouldn't have happened. Especially with something like drugs, it's so hypocritical. Like the panic around drugs, like drug culture, like the moral panic is incredibly hypocritical.
Yeah, fair. Okay.
That's what I thought was an interesting thing.
It's definitely an interesting
that he alluded to, and it's also when he mentioned saying the negative comments he's gotten, which he hasn't willingly entered into the public eye. I
guess that's the thing, isn't it? He's become incredibly exposed. He's entered public consciousness without necessarily choosing to. He is choosing to now.
He's choosing to now.
He came here of his own volition.
But also he's doing that in his own terms.
Yeah.
He knew, but he knows he's coming to record a podcast.
Yep.
But downloading Twitter and seeing you've gone viral as someone without a Twitter account, I think that must be quite alarming.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But I just think that because the tone of it, is pretty positive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you said, it's people being like, my jawline is so strong.
Yes, true. Oh,
I really hope that doesn't go to his head. I really, I really hope he doesn't go on an ego trip.
what did you think about the interview?
What a character! What a guy!
I think you should come back a lot.
I think we should possibly have him back. I'd like to know more about the name change.
Yep.
I'd like to know more about whether there was a broader symbolism there. I mean, these are all questions I could have asked him during the interview, but I didn't. I'd like to know what he does for fun.
We know.
Listens to Royal Blood.
Plays the guitar.
Plays
sings.
the guitar, sings. We should have accepted his offer of him singing.
Yes, I think we should have actually.
That was a missed opportunity.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. It's sort of what I like actually most about. Formerly, when I used to do Vox Pops, I know you're the Vox Pop king now here, but it's one of the things I like most was just meeting different people,
Interesting people, yeah,
that are just themselves. And obviously, it's entirely random. Well, it's not entirely random because he looks a bit like Daniel Khalife, but the just like, here is a man, get it, let's spend 20 minutes talking to him, and I enjoy getting to know people I've never spoken to before.
I think everyone's interesting.
Well, I totally agree.
People are like, I've got nothing to say, and then they give the most articulate, thoughtful answer to quite a difficult question.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with you. I mean, that's kind of the trick, right? But only if you're good at asking the question.
Yeah, that's true.
You're very good at it.
Thank you.
You're very good at it.
I think I've made it. I like to think I made it into an art.
I think it is an art form.
I think it's an art form. I think it's
and
art.
You are an artiste.
It's my calling is to stand outside.
Be rejected by like 80 bankers.
Yeah.
Before one of them.
My self-esteem is on the floor.
So, slightly controversial take. I found myself rooting for Daniel Khalife.
That's not controversial. I think that's the most widely held opinion over the weekend.
Really?
Oh my God, yeah.
The man is suspected of. So he's facing terrorism charges.
But I think it's because we don't know what he was actually like. We don't know what those charges are.
It was building a fake bomb.
Okay, we know that one, but it was fake. It wasn't like no one was going to die.
He is accused, and I understand he denies the charges. He is accused of building a fake bomb to, I think, deliberately terrify someone.
Okay. Yes, but like.
So do we support that? Do we support?
I think that
someone
that
possibly
can be
doing
true,
that.
And people also think it's very funny that he escaped from prison. And do you know what the thought? Like the thought of him, like, why was he a kitchen porter? Why was he allowed that freedom as a potential terror suspect? Like we were. Do you think he had like donuts on a string, like throwing them in front of the prison guards? Reeling them around as the prison guards are like, oh! And he bonks them over the head. Then he can't. But also, I think it's really endearing how shitty he was at getting away. He made it about 4 miles. And it's also people talking about, like, this man was a trained soldier and he's potentially been trained by a rogue state, a foreign agent.
I'm sorry, it's fucking Bush League to still be in London. But for my money, like the most heavily surveilled part of the country, where the largest police force in the country is headquartered.
Yep.
What am I going to do? I'm going to stay within 4 miles of the prison I
Tell you
escaped
what,
from.
Iran can have him. Iran can keep him.
That's Iran. They've come to get him. They've come to get him.
If that's who they're recruiting, I don't mind.
Look, surely, I mean, I'm yet to have to evade capture by the police, but surely, particularly if he does have the survival skills he's alleged to have, which appear to have been like scumming around Richmond Park for a couple of days before being caught in Chiswick, like an idiot.
I'm going to show you what he was doing. This is how good he was at hiding.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of what he was doing.
Surely, if you have the survival skills you're alleged to have, you're like you're in the bush, you're in the Scottish Highlands, you're fucking out of here.
Surely you just like leave. You don't stay in the not even just London, like southwest London.
Yeah, you think you at least get to north? You think you go north of the river?
Boroughs. Well, I don't want to go too far.
He couldn't get out, right, because they were high alert, right, on the ports and the airports, etc., the ferry ports. So, I guess your options are: if you are a spy, you hunker down, ideally further than 4 miles away from the prison.
They'll never think that I'll stay so close.
Yeah, maybe that's what he was doing. Yeah. He's still attached to the food van, going back into the prison and coming back out again. They'll never look for me here. Correct me if I'm sure there's someone listening who knows more about this than we do. We should tell you what. It's a great interview. We should interview those fucking what's that Channel 4 show where they like escape, where they tried to
Hunted.
escape? Yeah, we should interview some of them about this.
Also, they do so much better.
Yeah, that's pretty damning, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like fucking Rob Beckett or someone.
Oh, you get
Ed Gamble.
Spencer Matthews.
Yes, but
and Jamie Lang did better than Daniel Khalife.
A man allegedly trained by the British Army.
Oh.
Yeah, and actually with a vested interest in escaping. I don't know. Maybe he was just like, fuck it. They'll find me when they find me. I'm gonna hang out.
Yeah, but also, why would you be bothered?
But anyway, sorry, what I was going to say is hostile state, whoever it is, I believe they suspect him of collecting information for Iran. Mm-hmm. I'm on the burner phone to my handler being like, get me a fucking fake passport right now.
Yep.
And then you hunker down for 2 days. You wait till the heat dies down, and then you're off to Heathrow, bang.
Yep.
Straight to Tehran, buddy.
Yeah. Shave your head, maybe?
100%, that's an obvious one.
Uh-huh.
Eyebrows.
Who's this? Who's this mental person with no eyebrows wandering around Chiswick?
It's quite bold, but I'd actually back it as a strategy. Is making yourself face tattoo. You know, like people are like looking at you.
Daniel Khalife doesn't have a face tattoo.
Yeah, exactly. Face tattoo. Maybe like those huge piercings.
Oh yeah,
people get
freaky,
like the bridge of their face.
Oofed.
One of those.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably get one through your chin.
Mm-hmm.
A big like ring through your chin. It's hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, become a goth.
Become a goth, then picket the prison. Protest outside the prison.
Free Daniel Khalife. Daniel Khalife is innocent. Why is this goth king so agitated about Daniel Khalife?
Yeah, but I did want him to escape.
Yeah, he's also sexy. We have to say that.
Yeah,
I think that's also why people like.
You think that's why people bought into it? Is that when?
Well, if he's an uggo spying for Iran, that's bad news. that's a catch him. You get him off the streets in case I see him, and I'll be sick.
Fucked it. He's hanging. Get him off the streets.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a spice. There's something quite alluring about the mugshot, isn't there? Do you remember when there was that guy, that American guy who?
Oh, the model.
Yeah.
Yes.
With the sort of icy blue eyes.
Yep.
He was very alluring. Khalife, Rudy Giuliani.
Yep.
Trump's
mugshot is sick.
Nah.
I think it's cool.
I don't think it's cool because of what it symbolizes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking former president of the United States. That's why it's cool. But for me, it's not in the same category of, Sinatra, Hendrix, Elvis.
You like those people.
Yeah, but they also look cool. Like Hendrix is kind of like unruffled, open collar.
In a candid photo of Donald Trump, he looks dreadful.
Mm.
He looks good in that photo.
But he just looks like a fucking bloke in a suit.
Well, yeah, but that's way better than he usually looks.
No, I'm not trying to pass judgment. I'm not trying to make a comment about whether he, if it was part of the series of photos that Trump's wife had taken of him, it would be making it to the grid as the best of the lot. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, as the aesthetic, the pose, the energy that he was portraying in the mugshot, not particularly cool. I think other people have done it better. Mm-hmm. Like Lohan. Yeah. Lindsay Lohan's mugshot, you get, wow, she was on the fucking tiger juice. She was unhinged. Mm-hmm. You get that energy from the mugshot. Trump just kind of looks like he's trying to look hard.
Yep.
But he's not.
I think he does. I think he's executed his intent. Well, they've sold if it looked shit, they wouldn't sell $7 million worth of merchandise.
That photo, you could. It could be, you know, that setting on Photo Booth where it like it goes negative, it inverts.
Yes.
That could be the mugshot. They go, fuck, we fucked it. The exposure was wrong. Unfortunately, this is what the president's mugshot looks like. Terrible photo. It would still sell millions of.
That's true, actually.
It's because of what it is. It's because of the moment. There's loads of fake merch as well going around, isn't there? There's people who've got fake ones. He's obviously using it to fundraise as well. I mean, it's pretty smart. Make yourself into a martyr. But yeah, I think he could have done it better. I don't know. Maybe if he'd been pouty, you know, his like pouty face, his like little duck face.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. I would have liked
that. An ironic one.
Yeah.
Winking at the camera.
Him and Rudy Giuliani. You know that thing that people used to do with their fingers.
Stars, yeah. We need one more.
What is that?
That's a weird shape. A 4-point star.
Farfalle.
It's a compass points.
Yeah, nice. Anyway, so that probably draws to a close our Horatio / Daniel Khalife content, unless you got anything else you wanted to say.
Do we call for Free My Man?
I think we are on. I think we're pro. I think it's Free My Man.
I think it's going to come out tomorrow. Like just the dread. Like, oh no. Are we willing to hitch our wagon?
We just did.
To his reputation? Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. I think that's probably all we've got to say on the matter. No, that's it. We'll move on. Okay. So more breaking news then.
More breaking news.
Breaking news. PoliticsJOE exclusive. Let's go. We go live to the other side of the news desk. Ed Campbell, what's the latest?
So I found some posts made in said Facebook group.
For those who are just catching up, the man who is accused of being a spy for China.
Yes.
He denies the allegations.
And he can't deny this. He represented Iran at the George Watson's Model UN conference in 2012.
We should have seen the signs.
We absolutely should have seen the signs. And
anyone who represented Iran at the Model UN should be in prison.
No, I disagree. I don't want to go to jail. Should I just read out the post?
Yeah, read out his posts, yeah.
Yeah. So, for context, he must have been about 17 or 18 when he made these. So it's incredibly juvenile schoolboy content.
Sounds like I want to fucking love it.
And it's... So, one of his friends has claimed that he said, at Model UN, I'm honestly just a snatch hoover. I like the imagery there.
So can you set the scene for me? At Model, like, do you go for drinks after?
Oh no! Well, there's a disco. You're a child. You can't go for drinks.
Ed, this is what I'm talking about.
What?
Like 15, 16, 17. I'm talking tinnies. I'm talking smoking. I'm talking.
Well,
people are fingering each other.
Oh, there's
people growing up.
Yeah, he's a snatch hoover. He's fingering someone.
No, but you're saying, there's a disco afterwards. It's not like a fucking year 6 disco, is it?
Oh no, but like
or is it? I don't know.
No, I was like,
was there vodka?
Well, the school didn't provide vodka. But like, people, yes, there was.
This is why it's not cool. People think they suck. You fucking suck.
You suck. But people were like, there was like, it's actually just. I might be coming around to it being cringe.
Yeah.
But like, you could like, so the way
just to be clear, it is obviously cringe.
No, it's not.
Like, that's not up for debate.
I really enjoyed it. So the way Model UN works is you split into you're given your school is given a country to represent, and then each people. I'm not going to talk to you if you look at it. And then one pupil from each school is assigned to a committee that has a certain topic. It could be health, economics, media, whatever. So you're in like a room full of like.
Mr. Putin, put down your arms. We will not sit in session until the war in Ukraine is over.
Exactly. Yeah, they'd have solved it.
That happens.
It's very earnest. It's like taking it.
No.
People take it incredibly seriously.
Yeah.
Not like you taking this conversation seriously. And so you can send, but they have like, there's a note passing system where like you can send, say you are Brazil and you want to forge a Latin American alliance with the other Latin American countries you don't know.
Sick. Pony up. Let's go.
So there's like a runner.
Am I Brazil or are you Brazil?
I can be Brazil.
Okay.
And you can say you're Argentina.
Can I be Venezuela?
Yes, you can be Venezuela.
Cool, let's go.
So I can,
approach me.
But this is how, so I can't just get up and approach you because it's like there's two chairs who like run proceedings and you're all debating like a resolution, but it's very much like speech based. But I can send past you a note. There's usually like younger school pupils there from like the whole school.
Oh, it's like runners.
Yeah, they're runners. So I would like hold up my bit of paper. They take it to you, offering like, shall we team up? But it turns into like,
what are you packing? What are you offering?
Like, I don't know. What would you offer? Like I'll give you sweets or something shit.
Do you have currency? Is there negotiation?
I think what I think you're not maybe not getting is just how seriously people take it. Like people would be like, well, of course I would partner up with my Latin American country, Brazil, because we share. Because I know that we export this number of cattle and they're really good for our economy. Like it's that level of thinking. It's
right.
It's not as piss takey as perhaps you would take it. There are people there taking the piss. There was in one year or one time, this boy stood up and asked if all the Muslim countries could go to pray. Could take it like just a break to go and pray because they were the Muslim countries, despite the fact that none of them were Muslim.
What?
So they went and had
Sorry, I thought you meant like the Muslim pupils.
No. He was like Myanmar, and was like, "Can I?"
And he wasn't Muslim.
No, white guy. Well, white people can be Muslim, but like this guy was not Muslim. He just wanted to go for a coffee.
Right. Okay. So tell me more about the snatch Hoover then. Right. Now you've painted that.
So
Now you've painted that tableau, that tapestry.
But
tell me how he slots into that.
So this guy. So you see that? That's a bit of rogue fun. I might snog that man at the disco tonight. So again, it could be like send a note to. The note could be like, I'd love, like, can we export some cattle? Or it could be like, hey, you're fit.
Filth.
Oh, it could be fucking whatever, like in-betweeners adjacent filth that this 16-year-old.
Did you ever send a filthy note at Model UN?
No, I don't get it.
Earnest notes.
Didn't have the I don't know. I wasn't like, earnest. I thought it was kind of silly at some points how seriously people. But there was also some people who take it so seriously. You know how there's those schools that have like Oxbridge classes,
right? Like
whole like extra A levels to get into Oxbridge. There was also kind of like schools that had that for Model UN,
right?
Because they would turn up and like run things, and you'd be like, well, we're not going to accomplish anything.
Like what? What could you accomplish as a result of this?
I don't know, get your resolution passed or something. I don't know.
So what does someone doing Model UN well look like, other than the obvious hoovering up?
I think you find they're spying for China.
Yeah.
They're making getting their resolution. They're building consensus amongst disparate nations about challenges facing the world. I think that's basically what it was. The people doing Virality are very like type A, buttoned up. There because they're like
you, yeah.
Yes, me, extremely type A, very buttoned up. But these people are now like proper, like have several PhDs. I reckon, like probably like real like policy wonks, like genuinely really interested. Like
you drew the short straw, really, didn't you? You've got potentially a spy for China. You've got super like 20 letters after your name.
Mm-hmm.
Policy, big brain, galaxy brain dude, producer at PoliticsJOE.
I'd take mine, to be fair. I think I have more fun.
I don't doubt that for a second, actually. Maybe, I don't know, I think spying for China probably pretty good fun.
Stressful, though.
I don't think I'd be able to live like that.
No.
Fucking Horatio's getting nicked for looking like a spy, right? Imagine actually being a spy.
In Westminster.
I know as well, surrounded by cops. Come on then, so sorry, so just to confirm, so his friend wrote in the Model UN group.
Yep.
Quote.
An alleged quote from him saying, at Model UN, I'm honestly just a snatch hoover.
Cool.
Which I think implies that.
I just love the idea of the kids doing this, thinking they are like so cool.
It's real like.
And like the other kids at school, i.e. me, being like, you fucking suck. I'm sorry.
mean.
I haven't got it. I'm not getting it. Next one.
Next one.
Yeah. What else has he written?
Wrote, shout out to friend's name, who successfully bagged himself an underager at last night's disco. Top boy.
I'm not necessarily familiar with the phrase underager.
Yeah.
I think I have an idea of what it means.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably as a possibly 17-year-old.
Yep.
Someone who's under 16.
Yep.
Where do we stand on... Is that statutory rape?
I don't know.
Because there were always at school, there were always people who were like a couple years older,
Yeah.
who went out with people, in your year, or people in your year who went out with people who are a couple years younger. And obviously, at some point, the age of consent is in the middle. What's the legality of that?
It's not like the Romeo and Juliet rule. Is that not something?
I don't know what that means.
I think it's like if you are between the ages of 16 and 18,
Yep.
you can sleep with someone who's like 15. It's different to a legal adult. I think there is a legal distinction between the two.
There must be some kind of like lower limit as well. You can't be 17 and fucking cracking on with 10-year-olds, can you? But that's obviously illegal.
That goes without saying. Oh no, obviously.
Okay.
I don't think that's the implication. I think it was like a 15-year-old. But it's also like...
So he's coming across as like this is
a bit of a fanny.
This is the problem, right?
Yeah.
He thinks he's like Billy Big Bollocks at the Model UN.
Yeah.
And he probably is.
You try this shit in Beijing, my man.
Guys, there's more, yeah?
Yeah. So this is about the same friend. All girls should watch out for friend, also known as the package or elephant trunk. He's just suggesting this friend's got a big dick.
Man, I wish...
It's in a Facebook group like hundreds of people, most of whom he doesn't know.
Okay, did you ever write it? I should have asked you about this in advance. Have you written in the group before?
No, so I wasn't in this group. I found this out in my research today. That's how I found this group.
Right.
Because that's how I found out what country he was.
Got you. Okay. So, was this a particularly horny General Assembly?
I think it's just like, do you remember when people earnestly use Facebook?
Yeah,
and everyone
yeah.
just kind of got a bit hysterical.
Yeah.
It just smacks of that.
Yeah.
Just being like, you come into school the next day after someone had posted something nuts on Facebook, and they'd be like, everyone was talking about it and hysterical.
Yeah.
I think it's just people showing off for like.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I think was maybe common to all.
Yeah.
I wonder what it is now. Probably just like Snapchat stories. Because kids don't use Facebook in the same way.
They don't have Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Snap, and then talking to each other in dance riddles via TikTok.
Dance riddles.
I'm 30 on Wednesday. I'm
no idea what
I'm just getting further and further away from the audience we claim to represent. So more boomer takes like that from me in the near future. What was your, sorry, bit of a tangent. What was your proudest moment at Model UN? Did you do like a few good men type like speech and defeated emotion or like anything like that?
At the one I represented Iran.
Yeah.
It was also like, it was the school that was hosting this conference. It was the first time they'd done it, and quite a lot of people there had never done it before. I was a seasoned vet by this point. I've been to 2 conferences perhaps, and
It feels like you've been to more and you're lying about it.
No. Once a year.
Okay. Oh, sure. Of course.
Yeah.
Annual General Assembly.
Yeah. But I was Iran. I built an alliance with North Korea. What are like other like rogue anti-West states? Must be more.
Iraq.
Yes, probably.
Saudi.
Yeah. I think like rogue.
Russia.
Yes. Enemies of the West, let's say.
Belarus.
potentially, I staged the walkout of the committee we were in, and I actually just like ground proceedings to a halt because it just couldn't continue because we weren't present for it. Which seems like, and it was like the chair of that committee. He was, I think, so I'd have been about 16, he'd been about 17. I know when there was like an older person at school who just hated you.
Yeah.
And there was like an age element to it.
Yeah.
He was not fucking with it in any way. He was like, I think he was probably quite annoyed.
Yeah.
By this entire thing. And I think he considered me his enemy.
Yeah.
But I staged a walkout of that and ground proceedings to a halt. And that's it. I won best delegate at the conference.
How long did best delegate model United Nations? When was this? 2020?
2013. 2020. I was 24.
How long did best delegate model UN 2013 brackets whatever meeting?
Presumably.
How long was that on your CV for? A couple of years.
I'm trying to think. I wouldn't have had it like my waiter job at university. I hope. I think post university, it was not at it.
No.
You'd like to think.
It wasn't on the one you sent to me when you applied. I know
It wasn't.
If that got past.
It was front and center.
I interview you, you walk out.
Yeah.
Cool, bro.
There's more.
I want more.
Someone in the group posted that compared the resolution she proposed to lesbian sex.
What does that mean?
I don't know. That's all the context I have.
Is that homophobic?
Maybe. It could be homophobic. Or it could be... How if you were comparing...
So he's quoted as saying that?
Yeah, someone said... And he said...
But he is also like his brain is like a sex-addled teenage boys.
Yeah.
Because all he's writing about in here is about how big his mate's dick is.
Just how horny.
He's clearly quite sexually frustrated, which is no surprise because he's at the model UN. Sorry, no one's going to fuck you until you get out of this gag. Are there comments? Are there any comments?
Yeah.
On that one, so we can figure out whether he was a...
Oh, actually, someone has quoted it.
Right.
This resolution is a lot like lesbian sex. A lot of huffing and puffing, but very little penetration. As pre-prepared lines go.
It's just so tragic, man. I'm sorry. I know, and this is... first, congratulations. This is some really interesting stuff about... This is going to shed a lot of light on his psychological profile.
Do you think his handlers are going to be like, what the hell?
And I didn't really intend this segment to be just like my war on the model UN.
We need to shut down model UN until it gets...
I actually think it's quite a good... It's like a homing beacon for gimps. Like we can, like, you guys go and do that. You guys go and do that.
Who do you think our audience is?
I will be at the bandstand.
Our audience is earnest children
like
who are at Model UN.
I will be at the bandstand drinking like a warm tin of Foster's and pretending I'm drunk in front of my friends. Like doing the normal teenage boy stuff.
Do you know who recommends our content? Like A-level politics teachers who will also be encouraging their children to go to Model UN conferences.
I'll tell you right now, if you're in a classroom and your teacher's just told you to go to a Model UN conference, you look that person in the eye, you tell them to get fucked. you say, get the fuck out of here.
You fire your teacher. You read comments and you say, you think this is an appropriate environment for children?
Okay, so he's written some pretty ropey stuff. Would you describe that as bone chilling?
I think, yeah. I think this is newsworthy, and I'm chilled to the bone. My blood is running cold.
My blood is running cold, knowing that not only was that man, associating with our nation's brightest and best at the Model United Nations, that he was writing things like that. You can tell already he's sick and twisted.
Sick and twisted and ready to betray his country. 100%. I think so.
100%. Famously as well, none of our spies are horny at all.
Not one.
Puritanical.
As we recruit.
Yeah, 100%.
They go to asexual meetups and recruit from there.
Priests. That's who. That's who we get to spy for us.
Oh, you have to take vows of chastity.
We've got
obedience.
the
and poverty.
Vatican is fucking locked up by MI6.
Okay.
We own the Vatican.
Yeah, they've done nothing sexual ever. Famously asexual people.
Yeah, no, that's chilled me to my core actually to see him writing those things like that.
And he and I had a direct conversation.
You messaged him,
I did. Not recently.
Ed.
I don't think maybe he wouldn't reply.
You should definitely drop him a line now as well. Just be like, "Hey, bro, what's up?"
Busy?
Yeah.
How was your weekend, mate?
I don't think he'll be in prison. Oh no, actually no, he probably will still be. They'll have remanded him in custody, won't they? Because he's a flight risk. If he's possibly a spy. I don't know if that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, maybe.
When did they arrest him? Yesterday?
We
should have read the notes.
Arrested in March.
Fucking hell. Oh, it's that guy. Oh, he's bailed. Well, I'm really not up to date with this story.
Yep.
I'm illustrating how woefully ill-prepared I am for this podcast.
We've had a busy day.
We have had a busy day.
Yeah.
We fucking hour-long interview with Roy Stewart.
Yep.
Horatio.
This. You tearing the model UN, a new one. How do you feel about the regular UN?
Just wait till I get started on that motherfucker Kofi Annan. Don't put a whiskey in me and ask me about Bankai Moon. I'll fucking lose my shit. Right, so you've messaged him. You swapped messages with this.
He messaged me in 2013.
He messaged you.
Yep.
Whoa. We could write. He tried to recruit you.
Yeah.
He was trying to recruit you.
I think so.
Possibly for like a weird voting block at the Model UN.
Actually, you're not going to believe this. It's because he was horny.
No. I felt for that.
So, no, I'm not making that
What?
up.
No.
I'm
I'm
going to read this. So this was the next year, the year after I met him.
Does this man post about anything on Facebook apart from how horny he is?
This is a direct message to me.
Yeah. He's DM'd you, right? Set the scene. Where are you?
Presumably at home. 9th
Candles
of
lit?
March, 2013, at Court 10. I was probably revising for my higher exams.
AM or PM?
PM.
Ooh, late night.
So he's horny.
Yeah.
Them's are real horny hours.
Model UN gets a little blue after dark.
But so this was... I don't think I'm at Model UN at this point. I think this is post-conference.
You've met at conference.
Yes.
And you're writing each other. Well, he's and okay.
Messaging me.
He's writing to you. And what did he say?
You were in the Morocco delegation, right? What was the name of the girl in Health One? Promised I would give her a Facebook ad. Haha. So he's just absolutely down bad for any Model United Nations snatch to move her up. He's not done.
Question.
Yeah.
Did you pass on the contact details of said person?
I did.
You did?
I did.
You knew them? Were they in your delegation?
Yes. They're at my school because your delegation was your school.
Ah, okay, nice.
So
So your school was Morocco?
Yes.
Fucking hell, how many schools are involved?
Tons. Like tons.
100 and how many?
No, it wasn't one for every country. I actually don't know how they chose the countries that were like handed out because it wasn't every country.
Okay. We've spent far too much time discussing the logistics of the Model UN. I'm sorry.
Do you want a weird coincidence?
Yeah.
That girl currently works in Parliament. Isn't that mad?
Oh, I detect a conspiracy. Aspiring.
Yep.
So they chatted. So okay. So you send her Facebook profile. Yep. Okay. Then what?
So I said, person's name.
Yeah.
Then he said, right, yeah. Did you enjoy the conference? And I said, yeah, it was really good. Were you cheering? And he said, yeah, first time cheering, so it was a bit clueless. You Hutchie guys seem to be having good banter at the General Assembly.
Banter, spell ER or A?
ER.
Okay.
So he's being earnest.
Yeah.
He's being earnest there.
Yeah.
He said, fortunately, he missed the disco this year. Which I think if you're a snatch...
Fortunately?
Yeah, so I think if you're a snatch over...
Yeah, that's surely he's gutted about missing.
Yeah. Wonder what he's up to.
How does that match the date of when he said he was a snatch hoover?
How does the match? No, so like the snatch over comment was the year before.
Right. Okay. So maybe he's become slightly more patrician. He's taking the responsibility of the chair very seriously.
Yeah, he's more of a snatch dustpan rather than Hoover.
Said the word snatch fucking many times on this episode. It's quite coarse.
Ava's not here to become actually just misogynist.
Yeah. Good. Was that the end of the conversation? Come on, there's got to be more. It sounds like you kind of know each other, bro.
He's one of these people that I don't think he knows who I am. I don't think he'd recognize my name. But he's one of these people, you know, when social media just like always shows you someone's content for no reason. Like you go into Instagram and their stories
I
always
think you're like pals, yeah.
at the front.
Yeah.
He was on my really present on my Facebook feed for a few years.
Can I sign up? Do you have to be underage?
I think you can do it. As
Are there adult model
you can do it at
UNs?
university. You can do it at university.
There are grown-up. There are adults who do this.
I think so. I don't think beyond university.
Okay. Cool. Anyway, those messages that you've swapped.
Yes.
Bone chilling.
Bone chill.
Bone chilling.
Bone chilling. My brush with alleged China spy chilled me to the bone.
Should have done. That's like fucking ice in the veins. That.
Mm.
Ice in the veins.
Yep. I think that's actually like.
You were this close to being recruited.
I think
You were this close to being an agent of a hostile state.
that's. Do you know what? Maybe I am. Maybe I'm a sleeper agent. I don't know that.
Maybe this whole thing is an op. Maybe the whole podcast is an op.
This is actually Chinese propaganda.
Mm.
I bet there's someone that thinks that.
I think there's more than one person that thinks that.
I liked it in the Times. They described him as an arrested researcher unmasked as GP's son, 28, who attended public school and uses dating app. That is thousands of people. That's the least descriptive.
That's like Clapham.
Yeah.
That is every man in Clapham.
Based on that evidence, they could have got the wrong person.
They could have done a Horatio Castillo on him.
Yeah. Do you think? Yeah, I think that's.
Oh shit! Hoyle's making a statement in Parliament about this.
How did that go? That was 25 minutes ago.
Was it 3 o'clock already?
Yeah.
Oh, we've been doing this for way too long.
Oh no.
We have to wrap it up. We're gonna have like an hour and a half long episode.
That's good. Well, good. They'll love that.
I'm sure the audience will love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to add? Have you got any more info on the spy? Alleged spy.
Alleged spy. No, I think that's my exclusive done.
It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
I think you've done it's a good episode.
I think it's a good episode.
Roy and Horatio did this. It's good.
I think if there's, I think there should be a spy correspondent.
Yeah. Espionage correspondent.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Pivot.
Okay.
What other spies could you bring in? Snowden.
Mate, if you bring in Edward Snowden, I don't. Could you imagine? Right, we bid and we get Edward Snowden, and instead of being like fantastic, we're going to do a 3-hour-long sit down. We're like, come on the Pubcast.
Alex, I'll talk to you about Model UN for a bit.
I'll do the episode. I'll start the episode. I'll do the intro. The encrypted Zoom, whatever app he uses that connects to talk to us, that will just go dead in like the first 5 seconds of the episode. It'll be like, fuck this, what have I signed up for?
Then Assange and Chelsea Manning as well.
Mm.
Do the greatest hits.
It's hard to imagine, isn't it? What, like someone who actually was important. I know, like Bernie. If we did the podcast with Bernie, how he would react to the intro.
You wouldn't know what a nonce was.
I think he would.
It's not an Americanism.
No, but his brother lives in Oxford.
Oh.
He spends quite a lot of time in the UK.
Oh, fair, okay.
I think he probably does know what nonce means. We could change the lingo.
We can ask him.
Diddler.
Hey, Kiddie Fiddlers.
Yeah.
That's such a different intro.
We need to finish this episode. It's going, yeah, cool.
I think we missed Ava from...
I think we did. It's been a good episode.
Yeah.
Anything you want to plug? Anything you need to...
Royal Blood. Royal Blood's a new album.
Favorite songs?
The one that I cry to.
Waves.
Yeah.